Welcome back to Lessons in Leadership. Mary and I have a few minutes on the back end. Mary, I know we've talked about meetings a lot. We do a lot of leadership and communication coaching around, hey, why are your meetings so bad? Why do you have so many meetings? Why are those meetings are so long? Why are the people in the meeting not even people who need to be in the meeting? Why are you wasting everyone's time? It goes on forever, doesn't it, Mary?
It sure does. When it comes to meetings, it is so critical, especially with the technology that we have with Zoom. People just fill in your electronic schedule. They see you have a half-hour, window in there. Let me just get a quick meeting on Mary's schedule. You need time. You almost have to schedule fake meetings in there if you just want to take a walk, grab a snack, have a bio break, etc.
So I'm going to do this. Even though this is not an official mini seminar, I'm going to turn it into one before we finish. This is called Creating a Culture of Engagement.
Mm-hmm.
Now you might ask, what does that have to do with meetings? All right, here we go. This is creating a culture of engagement, meaning our meetings need to be more engaging, interactive, everything we do. I got this quote, Mary. I know you don't love this quote from Benjamin Franklin. Tell me and I will forget. Teach me and I will remember. Engage me and I will learn and care. Now, I tweaked that a little bit. So this is about, first of all, why is it so important to have a culture that's engaging and interactive, Mary?
Oh, because life would be boring and dull. So sure, you need to be serious, you need to get the work done, but you need to engage others. If you don't engage others and you're just dictating and telling people what to do and not listening to their opinions, they're just going to tune out and just go through the motions, and that's not good for any organization.
In that spirit, I'm going to listen more. First bullet point, talk less, listen more. Why is it so hard for so many of us?
It is so hard because we feel like we are the most important person in the room. We have something really good to say. Our ego gets in the way. What we need to do is pause, because if we listen to what other people have to say, we're going to learn something pretty valuable.
Follow up on that. The only way to have a real culture of engagement is to ask probing, open-ended questions of specific people. Ask probing, open-ended questions. Why is that engaging, Mary?
It is because you're inviting them into the conversation. If you're just sitting there having conversations with someone, telling them something, downloading information, by pulling them in, whether it's just in a conversation with one-on-one, if it's in a meeting with a team, that's even more important to invite people in. If not, they're going to just start multitasking, check their email, and not really be engaged. And frankly, you're paying them, so you are just throwing money away.
Absolutely, and stealing people's time.
Mm-hmm.
How about this third bullet point? Raise the bar. What does that mean? I argue we need to raise the bar of what we expect from everyone in the organization. Raise the bar. Don't stop telling people what to do all the time. I know I do it a lot, but I also ask a lot of people and say, you're the leader of this is what we need. Raise the bar. What does that have to do with engagement?
It has everything to do with engagement. If you set the expectation and you set that culture, then people will start to emulate your behavior. So then when they're leading meetings, when they're talking to their colleagues and peers, they will raise the bar. They will say, okay, Steve expects this of me. I should expect this of those around me as well.
One more quickie on this. So it's not just meetings. A culture of engagement is a lot about meetings, but it's not just meetings. This is my thinking, Mary. Fourth bullet point, in creating a culture of engagement, you must be present. And I know we talked with Elvin before about all of us multitasking, but what is the connection between, and this is the catch-22, why should I be present if you're not engaging me?
It is, yeah. Well, it is. But if you are engaging the people around you, then those people should be present.
But here's the trick. I've facilitated with you so many different situations, and in my mind, I'm asking probing questions. I'm calling people by name. I'm pulling them in. I'm inviting them into the party by saying, we want to know what you think. And I can still see them messing around with their phone. Now, I don't want to play gotcha, but here's the thing. I believe that to create a culture of engagement, you have to demand people being present. Realistic?
I think it is realistic. I think that if you set that expectation, people may slack off a little bit on their, being present, and you can call them out literally. And I do mean it, call them out. So if that happens, you just snap them back in and remind them of why it's important to be present and be there in that moment.
you're saying, I know we have to go, but in creating a culture of engagement, you say call people out
Yeah,
sometimes?
if you see, we've done it in our seminars.
Wow.
You see somebody looking down or looking down at their phone, and you'll call them by name. And sometimes you'll do it in a polite way, and they'll say, "Oh, I
Yeah.
missed a question because I had to deal with something." But you call them out. And Elvin is
And
calling us out that we need to say goodbye.
Mary, why don't you formally say goodbye and I won't say a word?
That'll be spectacular. Thank you so much for watching Steve and I on Lessons in Leadership. We'll catch you next time.
This edition of Lessons in Leadership is made possible by the Buccino Leadership Institute at Seton Hall University, Prager Metis, Valley Bank, the International Union of Operating Engineers, Local 825, the North Ward Center, Jingoli Construction, the New Jersey Sharing Network, Delta Dental of New Jersey, the Helix, Fedway Associates Inc., the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, Choose New Jersey, and Seton Hall University, showing the world what great minds can do since 1856.
This is Mary Gamba. If you want more leadership tips and tools, log on to stand-deliver.com. That's stand-deliver.com.
Promotional support for this edition of Lessons in Leadership with me, Steve Adubato, and my colleague Mary Gamba has been provided by NJ.com, NJBIA and New Jersey Business Magazine, CIANJ and Commerce Magazine, and the Meadowlands Chamber and Meadowlands Media.